This is S Conscious World, the objective black gamer, here with a new video on James Bond First Light. And what I think a lot of people have missed with this game is going to be in this video we're talking about right now, because I see a lot of people compare this game to the Uncharted series games. I see them compare it to Arkham Knight as far as it comes to the battle system. I see other people compare it to games like Hitman. They compare it to that because it's being made by the people that made Hitman. Agent 67, he's an assassin, so James Bond isn't really an assassin, so I won't compare it to it that much. But the game that a lot of people were missing, that this game is actually more comparable to, is Mission Impossible N64.
Roger.
This game, First Light, is exactly what Mission Impossible was trying to do back in the day, and that's what First Light is trying to do right now. Now, Mission Impossible N64 was the first game that had spy gadgets. It had the disguise and deception parts of the game. The missions weren't just about shooting everything up. It was based on stealth elements. It wasn't just your regular modern day shooter game where everything was about shooting everything up. It's mostly about stealth, and that's what these spy games stand out on. That's why this game's most important feature has to be the stealth element. Of course, optimization and controls are the main thing. The feel of the gunplay, the feel of the controls, that is very important. But this game, as far as mechanic wise, it has to be really good in the stealth department in order for this game to be truly successful. Now, Hitman, those games to me are not exactly what 007 this game is trying to be, because that agent is more of an assassin. He goes around trying to assassinate a group of people. And James Bond, he has more character development. He's also trying to get access to certain parts of the area, not just assassinating people. You're only going to assassinate people when necessary, and that is why N64 Mission Impossible is very comparable to this game, because that game you were also not allowed to just shoot everything up, because there were parts of the game where you're not allowed to use your gun and you're only allowed to be a spy. And the standout part of Mission Impossible 64, if you play that game, remember, was the embassy part of the game, where you start off as a waiter and you have to put things in the game to set you for your escape, like putting pipe bombs inside the vents so that the area can be clouded and dusted so you can escape. You also have to meet another spy who's also disguised as a waiter. Well, he's disguised as a bartender, and he will give you something to put in a drink to mix to give it to a top ambassador that you have to play as later on in the game. So you give him that drink and he will get sick and run to the bathroom. You run to the bathroom, you beat him up, and you take his clothes and you use something that they have as in their agency that allows you to copy someone's face, and you become that guy to gain access into the higher parts of the game, to where you can get information from a spy that's been captured by the KGB. Now, there are not a lot of games like that. Now, the games that are similar like that are first-person games, where it's mostly just action. You're not really sneaking around and stuff like that. You have fixed parts of the game, like Call of Duty in story mode, where you have a portion of the game where you do have to do that, but it's not where you're actually setting in motion for you to return to certain areas to be able to disguise as people. Because later on in Mission Impossible 64, they're gonna have to disguise as a fireman for someone that is on your team. So that is what I'm saying, that the spy portion of this game has to stand out. It has to be really good for this game to actually stand out, because we have so many third-person shooter games that it won't even matter. So this game will just pretty much just blend in with the rest of the games if it's not that good, and it won't matter for anyone to care to make another game like this. So objectively, we have to say that is the most important part of this game, is the actual mechanics. If the mechanic portion of the game is good, because we can say the controls might be bad, optimization could be bad, but they can be given another chance in a sequel if the actual mechanic is actually good, and of course the story is actually good. Now, I'm not going to go into like the cultural parts of why people might hate this game, because I've seen a lot of people claim to hate the game from what they've been told and what has been told by the producer of the game, as far as it comes to culture, as far as it comes to the actual character as him, James Bond being a somewhat of a womanizer or whatever you want to call that. That part to me, I don't think matters when it comes to gameplay. Now there's going to be people that's not going to buy the game just based on that. In my opinion, I feel like you shouldn't just isolate yourself and just, you know, games are supposed to be video games, real life supposed to be real life. Try video games to kind of get a different perspective on what the creators are putting out. Like you're just cheating yourself when you only have one mindset. And I think that this game developer, they are trying to give you something because they want to bring in more people, because video game prices are so high now and they can't just rely on one market. And we're talking about the analytics people. They realize that the people that they want to cater the game to isn't enough, because there are a lot of people that play games and they care about money. They don't care about a certain community or a certain type of gamer wants in their games. They want all the money. So they're going to put a lot of things in these games to get all that money. Now, do they put their foot in their mouth sometimes? Obviously they do, because a lot of people's upset that James Bond isn't a womanizer. You know, he's not someone that flirts with a lot of women, which to me I don't understand. You know, if you have to play the game, I think that's just bad for a consumer to just cheat themselves. I think you should go play it, experience it, see what it is. And if you don't like it, let it be known that it's a bad game. So that way, if they try to make a sequel, then don't go out and buy it. But the most important thing for this game success is for its main mechanic, and that is the stealth mechanic. Because like I said, Mission Impossible 64 was very stand out for it, and if you played that game, you remember that game because it stood out so much. But of course that game is so bad now because the controls are kind of stiff, you know, because the controller wasn't too good, so that kind of makes it really bad to play nowadays. And then the camera angles ain't bad, very bad. The AI wasn't all that good either. It was good at times, certain missions of the games, the AI was good. But that is something they need to fix with this game. The AI can't be completely dumb. It has to be somewhat competitive. It has to be somewhat really good responsibly, not just stupid where they walk by enemies and they just continue to walk and stuff like that. It just comes off lazy. And if the developers show they don't have any love and care for this game, why should the fans care about it? And also about the Mission Impossible 64 game, a lot of the annoying thing about that game was that it had a lot of frustrating objectives sometimes, where it felt like we were fighting the game mechanics at times when it came to a lot of these objectives, because of how some of the bugs sometimes were really bad in that game. It would just annoy you when you turn the game off. You have to find that balance and make it to where it's not too repetitive. The bugs cannot be bad at day one, and it has to be fun. And they have to put more of the fun parts in the game, more than the repetitive parts of the game. Because the Mafia games, I feel like that game had the stealth in that game is very comparable to this game as well, because the stealth in that game became really boring and really repetitive. They had some different animations to when you would finish some of the enemies you would sneak up on, but it was very, very, very repetitive, and the enemies were very stupid. The AI was very dumb. They literally walked by enemies at just the same spot where you could just dogpile all the enemies into one spot, and it was just really dumb.
Trash, filth, trash, garbage, dumpster, trash.
That is not something that they should be doing in today's gaming. Things like that need to improve. Game has a chance to improve that, and it needs to be top of the line. But let's talk about pricing. Now, the pricing that actually holds weight, that is very important, because if this game is going to be like all the other games we've played, there's no reason for the price to be high. And that is why I said it is very important that the stealth portion of the game is actually good and is very functional. And the stealth portion of the game functions very well. It's very important that the stealth portion of this game functions very well. Otherwise, there's no point for this game to be $70, because $70 is a lot of money in today's economy. It's just the economy together. It's just too much. $70. A lot of people's going check for check, and a lot of people don't have that kind of money to spend on a game nowadays. A lot of entertainment, but the pricing is too high, so it has to be good. It's a $70 game. People have bills. It's just a bad time right now for games to cost $70, $80. You know, to spend that kind of money. It's just bad economy right now. So because of that, they're gonna get one chance, and if the game is bad, we're gonna objectively call it out as that. So with all those things being said, I'm gonna objectively have to give this score, as far as it being a good game or a bad game for what we know, at 50-50, because I feel like there has the potential to be something that we haven't seen in a while, and it's being put into a franchise that's very popular, is very known, and that could really make it stand out. Will it stand out as GoldenEye 007 did for N64? Probably not. I would love it to be that, but we have to wait and see. It could be as big as that, but we have to see, and that depends again on the controls, how the feel of the game feels, and also the mechanics. And it can't just be the visual. Visual isn't enough nowadays to put games over anymore. There's too many games out that play the same way, and if we want to go look at something nice, then hell, we just go on our laptops and just play older games and make those games look better. So we're gonna see in the next few days, because today is the 25th and that is going to come out in 2 days. So I'm gonna play the game, review it. If it's bad, we're gonna call it out as being a bad game. If it's good, it deserves the thumbs up for being a good game. So we're gonna leave it at that. This is X Conscious World, the Objective Black Gamer, and I'll see you all in the next video. Deuces.
Come on, push the button. Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button!
You heard what she said.